I am truly excited about today's topic because I believe it lies at the heart of all positive change. Today, we are talking about encouragement, that gentle yet powerful push that says, "You can do it. I believe in you." In my work, I often said, encouragement is the oxygen of the soul. Without it, our inner fire can suffocate. With it, our spirits can blaze bright with possibility. If you think back on your life, the times you achieved something difficult or overcame a hardship, likely there was some encouragement involved. Maybe a parent or teacher who said, "I'm proud of you, keep going," or a friend who reminded you of your strengths, or even your own internal voice cheering you on. Conversely, if you recall times you gave up or shrank back, discouragement was probably looming, perhaps criticism from others, or harsh self-doubt telling you, "Why bother? You'll fail." Adlerian psychology places such emphasis on encouragement because I've seen time and again that all improvement, all healing, begins with a person believing, "I can change this for the better." And that belief is fragile if not nurtured. Let's illustrate the power of encouragement with a beautiful story. There was a young boy around 5 years old who had a severe speech impediment. He barely spoke, and when he did, it was hard to understand him. People outside his family sometimes assumed he wasn't intelligent. In school, he was teased and felt great shame, often choosing silence to avoid ridicule. But one day, a new teacher joined his class, a kind woman. She noticed the boy's silence and difficulty. Instead of writing him off, she made small efforts to engage him one-on-one. She discovered he had a bright mind and a vivid imagination, so she did something simple, yet profound. She told him, "You have such interesting ideas. I can tell you're a smart boy. I believe with practice, your speech will get clearer and everyone will know how clever you are." She worked with him after class on some speech exercises, always patient and smiling. That encouragement was like water on a wilting plant. The boy started speaking more in class, slowly gaining confidence that what he had to say was worth the effort. Years later, that boy, who might have retreated into mute insecurity, grew up to be a renowned lecturer, captivating audiences with the very voice he once hated. When asked what changed his trajectory, he credited that teacher who believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. Now, that is the power of a single encourager. Imagine if we created a whole culture of encouragement around us, how we could all thrive. Encouragement is not flattery or fake praise. It's not saying everything is perfect. It is acknowledging effort, improvement, or simply the value of the person, regardless of outcome. It's separating the deed from the doer. Maybe a child's grades are poor, the deed, but encouragement says, "I know you can learn and improve. I believe in you." The doer is capable. Instead of "you failed," encouragement says, "You're not a failure. You can try again with what you've learned." One of my favorite lines is, "A misbehaving child is a discouraged child." This insight was expanded by my colleague Rudolf Dreikurs. Think about that. When a child acts out, often it's because they feel they can't get recognition or significance in positive ways, so they resort to negative ones. The child has given up on belonging through good behavior, so they settle for attention through bad behavior. How do we remedy that? Not by harsh punishment that only discourages more, but by encouraging positive effort and showing them they are valued and can contribute in good ways. I've seen this work wonders. Juvenile delinquents turning their lives around when a mentor sincerely shows faith in them, or a problem student becoming a star student when a teacher finds something to encourage in them rather than constantly criticizing. Adults are no different at heart. Many problem behaviors in grown-ups, addiction, chronic anger, even criminal acts, often have discouragement at their core. The person thinks, "I failed anyway. Why not numb the pain?" Or "I'm not appreciated, so why should I play by the rules?" Now, encouragement alone isn't a magic fix for all social ills, but it is certainly a foundation for any solution. People need hope, like plants need sunlight. Let's bring this to a personal level. Are you discouraged in some area of your life right now? Perhaps you feel it's too late to change career, or you're struggling to lose weight and ready to give up, or you feel you'll never find love, or you're facing an illness that's wearing you down. If so, I want to speak to you directly. Do not give up. There is more strength and potential in you than you know. Often we are just on the brink of a breakthrough when things seem darkest. Many successes come after multiple setbacks. The difference was that those people kept going. If you need someone to believe in you, then hear this. I believe in you, not because I know you personally, but because I've seen incredible transformations, and I know we humans are capable of growth at any stage. Borrow my faith in you until you have your own. Also, think of the people around you. Who in your life could use a word of encouragement? It costs us nothing to give, but it can be priceless to the receiver. Maybe a colleague is doing a good job, but wonders if anyone notices. Tell them you notice. That shy friend who posts their artwork online and doesn't get much response. Leave a kind comment praising their creativity. Your spouse who cooked dinner, even if it's routine, thank them and say how good it was. These little acts create an atmosphere where people feel seen and valued. A crucial place for encouragement is within our own self-talk. Many of us have a harsh inner critic that jumps at every mistake. Stupid. How could you mess that up? You'll never succeed. If we spoke to friends like that, we'd have no friends. Yet we speak to ourselves that way. It's time to change that. You can cultivate an inner encouraging voice. When you stumble, instead of the usual self-berating, intentionally say to yourself, "What a good coach or friend would. Okay, you slipped up, but you can learn from this. It's going to be all right. Just keep trying." It might feel odd at first if you're used to negativity, but over time, you'll internalize this kind of voice. Let's acknowledge a fear some people have. If I encourage myself or others too much, won't we become lazy or complacent? Don't people need pressure or criticism to improve? I'm glad you thought that. It's a common concern, but encouragement is not coddling. Encouragement doesn't say, just relax, you don't need to try. No, it says, I know you can do better, so I'm holding you to that vision, but I'll support you along the way. In fact, people perform better when they feel confident and supported than when they feel scared and criticized. Think of a plant again. Criticism is like pouring ice water on a plant to shock it into growing straight. It might temporarily stiffen, but ultimately it damages the plant. Encouragement is like gentle sunshine and water. It nurtures natural growth. One can be encouraging and still set high expectations. The difference is you communicate your faith in the person's ability to meet them, rather than your doubt. Consider the story of Thomas Edison when he was a boy. It's said that a teacher labeled young Edison addled, meaning confused or not bright, and sent him home. His mother, Nancy Edison, did something extraordinary. She basically refused to accept that label. She decided to homeschool him, telling him he's smart and capable. In one account, Edison later wrote that his mother's encouragement was foundational to his success. He said, "She was the making of me. She was so true, so sure of me. And I felt I had someone to live for." Whether or not the details are apocryphal, the essence holds. A child's confidence soared because someone believed in him, and he went on to become one of the greatest inventors. History has many such examples. Napoleon Hill, whom we referenced earlier, taught about positive thinking, essentially self-encouragement, as a key to success. Hill himself used encouragement with his son Blair, a story he recounts in Think and Grow Rich. Blair was born with no ears and was predicted to be deaf-mute. Hill refused to accept that fate. He constantly encouraged Blair, treating him as if he could hear slightly, and instilling in him the belief that he would develop hearing. Indeed, Blair eventually did, through a combination of determination and technology. That is the triumph of encouragement over limiting expectations. Now, it's important to be genuine. Encouragement is not empty praise or ignoring problems. If you failed a test, for example, an encouraging response isn't, "Oh, it's fine, it doesn't matter," because maybe it does matter to you. Instead, encouragement might be, "I know you're disappointed, but you are smart, and I know you can pass it next time. Let's figure out what you can do differently, and I'll support you through it." Feel the difference? The encouraging message acknowledges the challenge, but also reinforces belief in the person's ability to overcome it. In organizations or teams, fostering an environment of encouragement can dramatically improve morale and outcomes. A manager who primarily catches employees doing something right and acknowledges it will find those employees going the extra mile, more so than a manager who only speaks up when something's wrong. Yes, correction has its place, but even that can be delivered in a constructive, encouraging way. "I know you can do this. Here's a tip to help." Let's talk about encouraging oneself in the pursuit of long-term goals, because that's where discouragement often hits hard. Say you're trying to lose 50 pounds. At first you're excited, but after a month of diet and exercise you've lost 5 pounds and it feels slow. Discouragement whispers, "See, you'll never get there. Might as well give up and eat what you want." Encouragement says, 5 pounds down. That's progress. The first steps are the hardest, but you're on your way. Remember why you started and keep going. You'll be celebrating 10 pounds down before you know it. If you keep an encouraging outlook, you're far more likely to reach that 50 than if you succumb to the negative voice. One technique I often recommend is keeping an encouragement journal. Every day, write down something you did well or an effort you are proud of, even if the result isn't there yet. Also write any compliments or positive feedback you got from others that day. This trains you to focus on the positives. On tough days, read back through it to remind yourself of your strengths and progress. Also, deliberately practice encouraging others daily. It not only helps them, it ironically lifts your own spirits too. It's satisfying to make someone else smile or stand taller, and when you see them improve, it reinforces your belief in the power of encouragement, which in turn reinforces encouraging yourself. I recall a situation from one of my child guidance clinics in Vienna. A mother brought in her young son who was wetting the bed and misbehaving at home. She was at her wits' end. Scolding and punishing hadn't worked. Our team realized the boy felt very insecure because a new baby had arrived. He felt replaced and discouraged. Our advice to the mother was counterintuitive to her. Instead of focusing on the misbehavior, shower the boy with encouragement for any positive behavior, no matter how small. She was to give him special, big boy responsibilities to make him feel important and praise him for each success. Within weeks, the bedwetting reduced and his behavior improved dramatically. What happened? When the boy felt valued and encouraged, his need to misbehave, a cry for attention and control, diminished, and his confidence grew enough that the regressive symptom, bedwetting, subsided. Encouragement is somewhat like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a good way. If someone encourages you that you can succeed, you're more likely to succeed, which then justifies the encouragement. It's a virtuous cycle. Similarly, discouragement can become a vicious cycle leading to failure, proving the discouragement right. So we absolutely want to feed the positive cycle whenever possible. Now let's get practical with some quick tips on being an encourager to yourself and others. Catch the good. Make it a habit to notice things going right or efforts being made and comment on them. E.g., I noticed you've been consistently going to the gym. That's awesome dedication. Use positive language. Instead of don't fail, say you can succeed. Instead of stop making mistakes, say keep learning and you'll get there. Be specific in praise. Vague, good jobs can feel hollow. Better, good job on the report. Your analysis was very clear. That shows you're sincerely paying attention. Encourage effort, not just results. This comes from growth mindset research. If a child gets an A easily, instead of you're so smart, say you worked hard and it paid off. If they get a C despite trying, say I know you tried and I believe with continued effort and maybe new strategies, you'll improve. Share examples, sometimes encouraged by example. I remember when I struggled with X. Someone encouraged me, and eventually I succeeded. I know you can too. Write notes. A quick encouraging text or note can be saved and reread by someone having a bad day. I've had clients who kept a letter from a mentor or loved one and would reread it whenever they felt down, like a portable encouragement boost. Encourage independence and risk-taking. Adlerian encouragement isn't about fostering dependency. You need me to prop you up. It's about instilling self-belief so that eventually the person encourages themselves. So express your confidence in their ability to handle things without you or to try something new. E.g., I know it's scary to move to a new city, but I have no doubt you'll navigate it and find great opportunities. Model self-encouragement. If you have kids, let them hear you encourage yourself. I made a mistake at work today, but it's okay. I learned something and I'll do better tomorrow. This teaches them it's okay to not be perfect and to bounce back. Before we finish, let's flip the perspective. Allow others to encourage you too. Sometimes we brush off compliments or help. Try accepting them graciously. Soak in that positive feedback. If a friend says, you're really good at XYZ, instead of deflecting with, oh no, not really, try, thank you. That means a lot. Let it land. It's fuel for your journey. And if you really lack supportive people in your circle, seek out communities, even online, that focus on upliftment, like forums for people pursuing similar goals who cheer each other on. There are support groups for everything under the sun, where encouragement is the main purpose. I want to end with this. Encouragement can literally save lives. There are people who have stood on the brink of despair and decided to keep living because someone said, you matter. You might not always know who needs to hear a kind word from you today, but your kindness could be a turning point for them. Encouragement breeds courage. Literally, it gives courage. When someone is encouraged, they feel the heart, core, to face challenges. So let us be generous with this wonderful gift. To summarize key points, encouragement is vital for any positive change. Discouragement is often the root of problems. Use encouragement lavishly on yourself and others. It's not about false praise, but genuine belief in the capacity to grow and do well. Notice and acknowledge efforts and improvements, not just perfect results. Replace harsh inner and outer criticism with constructive, hopeful language. Everyone, Children, adults, teams flourish better in an atmosphere of support and understanding. If you need encouragement, seek it out and keep reminders of positive feedback. Remember the ripple effect. One encouraging act can change the trajectory of a life, yours or someone else's. I'll echo the words we all need to hear. You are capable, you are valued, you can change for the better, and you are not alone on the journey. Keep those words in your heart and share them with those around you. With enough encouragement, truly, anything is possible.